So Chris is on our real estate team. He is our productions manager, which means that you make sure that everyone is in production, selling real estate, helping clients, right?
That is what I do. Yeah, I'm team sales manager. I do everything from deal doctoring. I do some deals myself, but I pretty much am the go-to point of contact for all the agents on our team. Anytime they need help with getting a listing signed, getting a buyer's offer accepted, and everything in between.
Yeah, so making sure that they're representing clients so that they're achieving their goals at the highest level.
Correct. We believe that like two heads are better than one, and I've just always been the type dude that like I never wanted to go into these battles by myself. Like I always found value in team my whole life. Like I never wanted to be an individual agent, right? I always wanted to be part of a team. And I just believe like two heads are better than one, and when we're all working together, man, like we can achieve so much more. If you think about it, right, the way we're set up is, I said this last time, is like I can sell 20, 25 houses by myself, but when we're working together and there's 20 of us and we can help hundreds and hundreds of people, my personal mission, I'm able to help so many more people like that. I'm able to influence so many changes in the real estate industry, working with agents, so many more clients. So that's something we're able to do because we work together.
Yeah. And one thing I like to talk about is like kind of identifying where your energy comes from.
Okay.
In terms of getting up in the morning, getting your day started, hitting the phones, helping people's out, helping the team members out, helping clients out. Because at the end of the day, it's like one thing that I found is you need a larger goal to kind of find that energy to do something where there's going to be a lot of uncertainty in the result. What I mean by that is like when I started real estate, I was 18 years old. I never sold a home before. I didn't even know I didn't even know anything.
Didn't know nothing.
I knew absolutely fucking nothing. And it's like, where do I get the energy to enter an industry where there's so much uncertainty of success, where the success rate is very, very low? It's like most licensed agents lose their license after like the first year or two, like 95% of them over 5 years or whatever.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't really know what the stats are.
It's something like that. It's large. Where mine comes from, I think you have to find your purpose. You have to find your why. Just for me personally, man, there's no other plan B. Like I never wanted to do anything else.
I talk about that all the time. It's like, you can't even have a plan B. Your plan B is making a pivot to make plan A work. That's
if you have a plan B, you don't have a plan A, right?
Yeah.
Like how committed are you to plan A if there is a plan B? Yeah. And I think you spoke about the uncertainty. I think the uncertainty is kind of what kept us in it, right? Yeah. Is where, you're not guaranteed, man. You get what you put in. And there's an uncertainty about that. That's the fun part of it, man. Is like, and that's
what makes it exciting, because you don't know what's to come.
It's no matter how little or big it can be, right? You don't know what's to come, and it's a direct reflection of what you put into it. But going back to plan A and plan B, man, this is what I was going to do. I was a troubled child. I got kicked out of like 6 high schools.
That's a lot.
I got
That's
kicked
like
out
a
of
world
6
record.
different high schools. And on the last time, the vice principal, I remember it like clear as day too, right? I'm sitting here, my mother's sitting here, the vice principal sitting here, principal sitting there. And I had scholarship offers and I was ruining my future and all that. And I quote, stock shelves at CVS for the rest of my life is what I was told. And my automatic response was like, no way, dude, I'm getting into real estate, man. I've looked into all this stuff. I don't need a college education. I'm going to be in real estate. So from 16 years old, man, and I tell that story because I think about it a lot, man, because had I not said that out loud, had that moment not happened, maybe I would have had a plan B.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have found an excuse to have a plan B. But I always remember that. And like, if it didn't go this way, I failed. So I was so obsessed with that mission, and it's kind of stuck with me. And what is crazy to tell a 16-year-old person, now I'm so grateful somebody told me that, because it fueled something inside of me where it's just, no matter how much I fail, no matter how much, those first 4 years in the business for me were brutal. They were not like yours, man.
Yeah.
I was working, hard on it, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't belong. And there's just this big learning curve that I had of getting into business that, had I not been so obsessed because of like some of those remarks that were made to me, man, like I don't know where life sends me. So
yeah, I kind of
shout out Mr. Canavan.
See the guy that told you you'd be working at CVS?
Stocking shelves.
Oh shit, dude! Actually, I want to touch on that because I was just in Houston, Texas, for my cousin. My cousin graduated from Rice, and they had a commencement speaker for the graduation, and I forget her name, but she became an astronaut. She graduated from Rice years back, and she has the largest amount of time in space.
Wow.
So and she spoke, and she she said that she had multiple lessons. I wish I wrote some of them down for this, but the one I kind of want to touch in on was the idea that only you know what is right for you.
Yeah.
Even the people closest in your life, your parents, your relatives, your family, your friends, they influence your decisions and they tell you certain things, but they don't really know what's truly right for you. Mm-hmm. And for example, it's like when she came up with the idea that she was going to be an astronaut, everyone thought she was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah,
it sounds pretty crazy.
It sounds very crazy, especially at the time, because it's like you start the path and there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but you really just got to take it step by step, day by day. And no, she made that point though, where it's like, you have the guy that tells you you're going to be stocking shelves at CVS for the rest of your life, but you know what you're going to do.
Yeah, man. I just it's just like it sparked something in for me. But like, no, that's a really cool story. Is like, yeah, man, if you listen to your friends, your family, everybody around you, like I would have quit this a long time ago, man. My family early on, like my mom, my dad and my grandma particularly, were always get a regular job, get benefits, have a stable career. And quite frankly, all that taught me was exactly what I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Like that's the last thing I would do.
And that I do think it's right for a lot of people, because a lot of people can't, they might not be able to handle that high level of uncertainty or the high level of risk that pertains to entering this industry.
Yeah, and maybe they're just not as crazy as
yeah,
I am,
yeah,
or you are.
Nuts. Like
I commend everybody who does that. Whatever wakes you up and fuels you, and whatever brings you peace, like that's your thing, man.
And that's another thing I want to touch on, is like finding your fuel, because I think a big thing that's mistaken is a lot of people have the wrong perception of success in a way, where it's like, people enter real estate to make a lot of money, for example. And that was the primary reason why I entered the business, was to make money. But the reason why I wanted to make money wasn't to just be rich. It was deeper than that. For me, I had an emotional attachment to that goal, because I wanted to become independent in a way where my parents didn't have to pay my bills, where I was able to move out, and my parents, it was more of a thing where I just needed to grow up and move out, and I just wanted my parents to know that I got myself covered and they don't have to worry one little thing about me for the rest forever. And like that was the end goal when I dove into the industry. And because it was so big, I was willing to have the energy and the passion to get through, to just do the tasks, even though the level of uncertainty towards success is so high. And I think that's very important, is like finding that drive through a goal or a sense of fulfillment and in a goal that's bigger than what actually pertains to the day-by-day task.
Yeah, man, if there's one advice I could give to like younger people, or just anybody for that matter, is find that thing that wakes you up in the morning with passion and chase that fucking shit relentlessly, dude.
What would you say in the shortest context is where did you find that in your work?
The passion?
Yeah.
First it was just the passion to be right? Like just to not fail. It was the passion to not be a loser, man, and to prove myself right. Not prove everybody else wrong, but to prove myself right. Yeah. And being fully committed to something. As I grew into the industry, my passion started to become I didn't get the support or training that that may be available today, or if it was there, I didn't know how to find it.
And that's another thing for me. It's like you said, your first 4 years was fucking torrential. I'm sure.
Yeah,
it sounded like it was brutal. And I think a big reason why it wasn't as much for me was because I had this room to go to.
Yes.
I had the team. And
yes.
And that's why I also think you're so passionate about it, because agents like me who are entering the career, you can allow them to enter the business and be successful in the business without having to go through that 4 years.
Yeah. It speeds up the trajectory.
A lot.
Yeah, it fast forwards everything. it took me, and eventually I did get into those rooms and I did find mentorships, and somebody did give me an opportunity, and I was able to take that opportunity and kind of run with it and build on that. But for me, it always did come that. And then my passion just started slowly becoming helping other people. I noticed I spent so much time learning, going back to, not being money oriented or money driven. Real estate, like the money didn't really ever drive me about it. It was nice, but what really drove me about it was, that, like I said, wanting to prove myself right. And what that switched to, and I spent so much time learning every day. I spent my darkest days of my life, man, were spent learning. And I thought I was wasting my life. I was wasting my time. Those same things that I was learning during those days are the same things I'm teaching you guys every single day now.
Yeah.
And that's that's a different type of passion for me, is helping people, because it just slowly started happening where somebody needed help, they would come to me, I would answer questions, and I just started to enjoy that part so much more. I still like helping clients, and I have a core group of clients that I'll serve for the rest of my life. But my purpose now is with the agents, with building a real estate team, influencing change in the industry, being part of that change. That's what wakes me up every day. And I don't set an alarm clock. Like, that shit wakes me up. And
No, I woke up naturally at 6:30 this morning. 6:36, I was up. My alarm was set for 7:30, but I was up.
man, you are a different breed of human. I've never, not that I've never, but you have it, man. It's one of those things that it was once described to me as, I don't know what it is, but you got it. Whatever that X factor is, you're so much more mature than your age. You're so much more advanced than your age. Can tell. And it's very rare, man. And don't go a day without knowing who the fuck you really are. You know what I mean? And that you have a lot to offer the world, dude.
I have days where I have a hard time with it because it's hard for me to relate to a lot of people my age.
Yeah, you need to humble yourself,
But
right?
it's okay.
Yeah, you need to it's not about you, right? In those situations, it's about somebody else, I would say, and that's just the way to keep yourself grounded. It's like, it's never about you.
Yeah.
It's about the person next to you, man. You have a chance, you have an opportunity to influence a lot of people, especially the people around you. So, remember that and meet people where they are.
Yeah.
That would be my
meet
advice.
people where they are. That's important. Sometimes I get over my head and.
Yeah, man, if somebody would have quit on me when I was 21 years old, man, the things I was doing at 21, 19, like you, Steve, Dylan, it's just like, man, you guys are so, I don't know if you guys realize
Dialed.
it now, man. You guys are dialed. In, man. And
dude.
good things are going to happen to you, man.
I'm excited. Yeah, especially this winter was a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's good. I want to touch in. So you were talking about, the real estate industry changing, you being part of that change. Where do you think the real estate industry is going? Where do you think the change is? How do you think this is benefiting the average consumer, the average person? And how are you affiliated with that change in the industry?
So, how am I affiliated with that change in the industry? I'm getting there. I'm trying to be a part of it. Like, I think Joe told me this, right? Like, Joe said it best to me, is like, the consumer wanted a different experience, and now they're demanding one. In our onboarding, we go over how Zillow has become like the Airbnb.
Huge disruptor.
Yeah, like the Airbnb and Uber of the real estate industry. And we were taught as kids not to get in a stranger's car, but now we get in Ubers like it's nothing.
Yeah, I'm leaving the bar at 1 a.m. in the summer, absolutely hammered, and I get picked up by some random dude, and I wake up and I'm home.
Yeah, and and then so yeah, like we Uber, we were taught to not go in strangers' car, and now we get into an Uber, right? We were not just going to strangers' houses, but now we trust Airbnb. The consumer trusts Zillow.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was one of those people and one of those realtors in the industry who's like, I hate Zillow and all of that stuff. It's, hey man, you can't beat them, and you're not. You join them.
Yeah, most people, and this is any new technology that takes over an industry, is because it's a disruptor. It's a threat towards the old school way. So all of the old school agents, all of the established businesses, they're going to bash on the change because it is a threat towards their current industry. And it's an adapt or die kind of thing, where it's either you're first or you're last and your business is dead.
Yeah, if you're trying to get Zillow out of here, good luck.
Good fucking luck, because those guys, they're killing it. And another thing I like to say is Zillow's message is great. I am all for it, because the problem with the real estate industry in the past, and this was before, this was when I was 14 in high school playing like, I don't know, like flappy golf in school. The back in the day, and Joe, no, I don't even think it was Joe, but it was somebody on the Zillow that's with Zillow. And the analogy they used is, back in the day, if you wanted to buy a house, you'd go to a real estate agent. Mm-hmm. They'd have their pocket listings. You look at the book, and they'd walk in this dark room and they'd point the flashlight at what's available. But the problem with that is the consumer had no access to the information. Sure. They didn't know what was actually available. The agent had full control over what listings they could access. Mm-hmm. And they would manipulate it in a way where like the incentives was not aligned for the consumer, it was aligned towards the real estate agent. If you're a real estate agent and you had 20 listings, you're going to show them your 20 listings so then you could double end the deal and get another 10,000, 2% on the commission.
Which is just wild.
Which is just wild. And what Zillow did is, instead of having that agent walk around the market, pointing at every available listing with a flashlight, showing them all the deals that they want to double end, they walked in the room and turned on the fucking lights.
Yeah, I mean, the consumer has access to all the information now. There's MLSs that are trying to, take that access away from Zillow. But they're the go-to point, man. You walk around anywhere and you ask people if they know who Zillow are. People know what Zillow is. It's recognizable. We are one of the premier partners on Zillow Seller Leads in New Jersey. And I can promise you, I am on those appointments. I see those appointments. The consumer wants to work
with Zillow.
And people who are aligned with Zillow. The consumer is kind of fed up, man, with realtors. And that's kind of been my experience. We see it on a daily basis. And like I said earlier, man, if you're one of those people that are trying to fight this battle against Zillow and you're trying to, push Zillow out, good fucking luck, man.
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
You're fucking dead.
Yeah, and like I said, I was one of those people for a while, man, that like, they're coming to disrupt and, I don't want to support that. And eventually, man, you see, they are the disruptor and we're going to be part of that change with them. And
here's the thing,
our alignment with the EXP and Zillow, it's a great setup for the way we run our business.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And if it benefits the consumer at the end of the day, that's the technology that's going to be adapted or adopted.
Yeah, it's all about the consumer.
All about what people want.
The consumer and their experience. And yeah, I mean, the NAR lawsuit tells us a lot.
Yeah.
And change is coming. Yeah,
for sure. And that's even part of it is like, so I want to talk about that buyer representation, because with the new NAR settlement, you now have to you now have to pretty much agree your commission, your form of payment for your services directly with your own buyer client. And before, the commissions were kind of just offered out through the listings, which meant that if you represented a buyer and you got an offer accepted, you're pretty much guaranteed your commission because it was offered out by the seller. Now you have to directly negotiate that with a buyer. Mm-hmm. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I don't want to pretend I'm an expert on it. There's too many,
I'm not an expert on that.
Yeah, there's enough people trying to be an expert on something that still hasn't hit, right? We don't know what it's going to look like. What I say to all of our agents, I've just never been the person to pay attention to that kind of stuff, just in general, right? This is a bigger one with the NAR lawsuit. It seems like it is going to cause some change in the industry, but my focus is on what I'm doing today. Yeah. And when the new normal comes into place, I'm going to be ready to adapt that next day. And between now, then, and then after that, I'm just going to focus on what I have to do and what our agents have to do. And I'm not going to get tied down with, there's people way smarter than me in our organization that are handling that, up from our team all the way up to the top of EXP, that they are going to provide us all the information. And when it becomes available, until then, our heads are down, we're going back to work.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think people lose focus on like, oh, the NAR settlement, just even talking about it in general. So I kind of want to pivot, like based off the NAR settlement though, and the fact that you just have to negotiate your own commission with the buyers. Who knows what that's actually going to do in the industry, but commissions have always been negotiable. And how I see it is, it depends on your value. If people, the consumer sees your value, mm-hmm. and there's a reason why they would work with you, and if they're going to pay what they have to if you are going to provide them with what they need. And I think in a low inventory market, buyer representation has never been more important. having proper buyer representation when submitting offers, being the first person in the front door, being the first offer on the table, presenting that offer so that the terms and conditions fit the seller's needs. All of those things come into, even this, working with the right loan officer to make sure that your financing is well represented as well, because you're going to be competing against cash buyers who might be able to close in 2 weeks.
Correct.
So there's all these variables that are very, very important when you're working as a buyer in a low inventory market. And if you don't understand what is going on, you are going to get destroyed by the people who are working with agent representatives, even though they're paying a 2% commission.
Yeah,
or 3%.
We see it often, man. It's the number one challenge is that our agents, I think, I'm one of those people, right?
Well, that's the other thing. You're looking at, like, you are because you're our production managers, you are looking at every offer we submit. Like last week, you probably ran through what, like 15, 20 offers?
13, yeah.
13 offers. Like, you are looking at what is going on in real life in our market. You know where prices are. You know what's going to take to win, because you're looking at which offers are getting accepted, which offers are not getting accepted. And based on all that data and information that you're overseeing, because you're seeing all the agents submitting all the offers,
yep,
you have a very good insight of what's going on in the market and what it takes to win.
Yeah, so I'm getting my hands on every single offer that's being written. I oversee every single offer that we submit in our team, but also I see every offer on our listings that are received. You get to see how they're presented on the other side. I'll show it to you now, man. I have a spreadsheet of 14 offers on a highest and best right now on one of our listings. Like 4 of those agents have called me. 4 or 5 of those 14 offers have called me. It's absurd. And
I wanted to talk about that too, because I get that experience with every listing.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, no, it's absurd that hey guys, call the listing agent if you're going to write an offer on their listing. Yeah. Have a conversation with them. Find out what's important to the seller. It's a great start. But going back to, I see all of it. You see how they're presented, and then you're able to create strategies off of, quite frankly, what you see other people doing wrong. Yeah. And I was in the market. I was a listing agent in 2022 in one of the most competitive. I'm going to restart that. I was a listing agent in 2022 in one of the most competitive markets that we had seen. Actually, it's 2021. So I was a listing agent in 2021 in one of the most competitive markets that we've ever seen. And I got the opportunity with $40 to $50 million worth of listings. I'm seeing 20 offers on each property, 18 offers, 15 offers on each property. And through that, you got to see all of the offers that came in and what it took to win. So I had seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of offers, and I developed a strategy of my own that to help get our offers accepted, because you start to see what works and what doesn't work, what sellers are really looking for. What you're going to find out a lot of time is it's not always the highest price that wins. It is the terms, conditions, the relationship you build with the listing agents.
I would say most of the time it's not. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's
but like
wouldn't be far-fetched, man.
When there's 18 offers, you have those 2 offers that are up towards, $10,000 difference.
Yeah.
$10,000 is nothing if the terms and conditions so that one offer is getting to the closing table and it's going to be a very smooth transactional experience, and they're not going to fucking nickel and dime you during the inspection. Yeah. If the other offer is just, here's our pre-approval, here's an email, that offer is not getting accepted, dude.
We have an offer right now that the highest offer is including no appraisal terms, right? No waiving, no gap, appraisal gap. Our second best offer is very close, and they're waiving all of that. Which one's the better offer?
The one that waived everything.
Because we're just going to get to a closing table, and they displayed confidence with their offer. They knew how to present it very professionally, and they prepared their clients ahead of time. That's another thing also, is that from a listing agent's perspective, you can tell when a listing agent has prepared their client properly for the type of market that we're in. Another thing with all of this, you see more deals falling apart than pre-COVID era, because after somebody does everything that they do to have to win that offer, what you see a lot of times is them realize, like, oh man, that was super aggressive. Now they have to meet those terms, and you see people back out a lot. So it's very important to me when I'm on the buyer side and we get our offer accepted, we have to move quick on our side with inspections, appraisal. As soon as we're out of attorney review, we're getting that inspection immediately. Within the first hour, we're getting that schedule booked. Our lender's all on top of it, ordering an appraisal right away. So when we order, and then I'm in communication with the listing agent, letting them know that we're doing those things so that we're meeting our end of the bargain. We are who we said we are. We present, we're doing what we said we would.
You're moving forward in good faith with the transaction, and that's the whole thing about trust and building relationships is you're setting an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, hey, we're going to get the inspection here, we're going to do the appraisal here, and then you're executing on it throughout that process.
Yeah, man, and it goes a long way. And there's one thing to be able to say you're going to hit all these terms. There's another to execute on those and be able to execute it, have the right resources to execute on those. Because it's, a lot of that stuff becomes out of our hands. So we have to have allied resources that put us in a position to come through on the terms that we've made.
Yeah.
That's where your partners can be extremely important. That's where they are extremely important, and working with the right people.
Yeah. And that's where I see value in paying a buyer broker commission, for example, because if you have somebody who has never bought a home before, they think paying a 2% commission is ridiculous, and they get a Rocket Mortgage pre-approval and they start submitting offers themselves or whoever they, maybe through the listing agent, which could be a different story. But the thing is if you're competing against another agent representative who is active in the market, knows what it's going to take to win, has the team of allied resources to present that offer correctly, there's no shot you're going to win.
Yeah, correct. I've seen it so many times, right? Like my buyer's been looking for a year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, look at the way the offers are being presented. And, just going back to the consumer, the experience that the consumer needs to have, you look at some of these offers and you're like, God, they're never going to find a house. They're never going to be able to get an offer accepted. The offers, sometimes what you see is they're presented poorly, and they're not being put in a position to win. Mm-hmm. And it's more important now than ever to have the proper representation and working with the right people who are going to get you across that finish line, man. It is extremely difficult to get your offer accepted in a competitive market, that you have to make sure that you're checking off every single box.
Yeah. So true. I guess we could pivot to, I don't know. What's your life like?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm super busy. Just, it's going through the day-to-day, man, and trying to, work-life balance has been a thing for me lately. How have you been working, your work-life balance? Because your phone's always fucking ringing. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's something difficult to...
And the other thing is sometimes you just got to live life without work-life balance for a period of time.
Correct. So that's why I was just going to say.
You just got to accept it. It's like,
yeah,
I'm going to have no balance. Life's going to be fucking crazy. It's just going to be...
And you have to know that.
Boom, 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 boom.
I just came back from a 4-day break where I just didn't answer my phone at all, right? And the reason behind that is I know what May, June, and July are about to be like. I know about... what the world's about to see. We're about to get after it, man.
Oh, it's about to get active.
And
it's about to get active. I'm psyched.
Yeah, and I'm just fully committed to what we're about to do over the course of the next 3 months. And it's crucial, man. It's showtime right now in the real estate industry. And I'm prepared for that. And I know that work-life balance is going to be a little bit off for the next few months. And I also know how, the things that I need to do over time as you mature, the things to do and not to do. And when you take breaks and you separate yourself from the business, you are a bit unresponsive and not available, that's better for everybody. When I'm unavailable and then I come back, that's better for our whole entire organization.
Yeah. Because that also gives you time to reflect on you, why you're doing this, what the underlying purpose of everything is. It also gives you time to step back. Sometimes you need to take one step back to take 2 steps forward, for example.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to breathe, man.
You have to disconnect in order to connect sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you're serving especially in leadership, man, you are serving no purpose to anybody if you're burning your candles, man. You're failing the people around you. Part of being a good leader is being able to step away. And then there's something that I said that I kind of maybe a month ago, I told somebody, I was just being overly available is a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the ability to say no. Yeah. And you have to have the ability to separate yourself from your work and spend time on the things that are most important. Because what's life if we're just working and we don't take time to enjoy the fruits of our labor?
The fruits of our labor. Yeah. Sometimes you got to take out some lifestyle chips.
Yeah, man. So just being cognizant of that, and just doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. And leadership is a thankless job sometimes, man. And you have to treat yourself kindly, and you have to take good care of yourself. And when you're able to take good care of yourself, you're able to lead others.
Yeah, I think that's most vital, is kind of like you are your own foundation, you know? Taking care of yourself is very important. And I guess we could dive into later when we talk more towards like the mental health conversation. But I want to touch in, because you said the next 3 months, you know, you took a 4-day break, turn the phone off, get some peace of mind so you could be ready, fully prepared to just go balls on the wall when this spring, this summer market comes.
Yep.
What do you say over the next couple of months? What are going to be, where do you think in the short term, at least, the space is going in terms of, you know, where interest rates might be headed, how this could impact home prices, how this could impact consumer buyer demand, what might happen to inventory? I mean, in terms of being a realtor as well, you know, we'll probably see a large influx of volume in sales if the Federal Reserve does decide to, you know, bring quantitative easing. And
they were already supposed to do that, right?
Yeah, they were.
What happened to that, guys?
Yeah, they lied to us.
Yeah, shocker. Yeah, man. So like, it's hard to predict, right? A lot of people, we thought the interest rates might have been lower by now. They're not. So that's another thing. It's kind of out of our hands. It's out of my hands. So I just focus on what we can do despite that, right? And focusing on what's in our clients' control and not letting the market happen to you.
Yep.
So I think that's crucial. In terms of, I mean, hey man, it's May. Like, it's going to be competitive out there. It is going to be one of the busiest times of the year, and just being preparing our buyers ahead of time.
It's going to be a lot busier than last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Rates aren't going to the moon.
Yeah,
People were scared, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still think that they are in some realms. I think people are still scared. And hey, there's an affordability crisis. Let's face it, man. There's an affordability crisis, especially in New Jersey.
Dude, I watched this video last night. I'm going to send it to you. You have to watch it.
About the affordability crisis?
Yeah, of everything.
Yeah. There's an affordability crisis specifically in our market in New Jersey, and we're seeing that. And, you know, as agents, it's I take that shit personal, man. Like, when my client things are tight and they want to be in a certain house, in a certain neighborhood, especially those clients that are doing everything that they need to do to win and they still come short, I take that is the highest of priorities for me. The people that are doing everything necessary to get their offers accepted and we're still falling short. I have a hard time accepting that, and we're not going to leave anybody in that situation this summer.
Yeah. No, that's one thing that drives me is, like, you know, sometimes the harder it is to get it done, it's just like an even more motivator of a reason for me to get it done.
Well, and then it's so much rewarding for the people on the other side. You know, they appreciate your effort so much. And what I've learned in this industry and this business is that everybody ends up where they're supposed to be. Everything that happens, you end up in the home that you're supposed to be in. And there's a journey and there's a process to getting there, but things work out the right way. There used to be a time that you would go show a house, and if the buyer liked it, you would negotiate a deal with the listing agent and get it done. It's just not like that anymore. Yeah. And we just set those expectations with our clients very early that it may take a couple. We are there to support them in that process, and just letting them know, you have to manage people. You have to manage people's emotions. I had this, I think it was 2022. I had multiple pregnant women. They were losing out. They were emotional. I took it I was so obsessed with making sure that they got in their home in the time frame that they needed. That, yeah, like I said, I took it just very personally, and we got that job done, and that is so rewarding at the end of it. And that's a relationship that you're going to have for the rest of your life with your client as well.
And I think that also ties into to identifying what healthy, true, like real drive should stem from, where it's not along the lines of, you know, your own personal financial gain, where you're working your fucking ass off because you have these 3 pregnant women that need to be in a house because they have a baby on the way and they need to be moved into their home and settled in 3 months, and they're having a hard time competing against 20 offers on every bid. Like that is what should drive you, not a, you know, commission check.
Yeah, man, it's not about you, man.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about the consumer. For me, it's about the consumer, and it's about our agents.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not about me. When you're in leadership, it's not about you.
Yeah. What's like the big, do you have any like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like visions. Like, do you have any like 5-year visions of where, you know, the team or where our position in the industry could be?
500 units. We that's our goal. That's our mission. We want to be at 500 units. We repeat that every single Monday morning at 9 a.m. on our Power Up.
They've been doing that for 2 years.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We understand that it is a slow, steady grind to the top. We make mistakes along the way, but that's the mission. 500 families, helping 500 families in a year, and helping as many agents as possible achieve their goals and create a career in real estate. And that's super rewarding for me as well, is because if you're surviving in this market as a realtor, especially a brand new realtor, you're fucking crushing, dude. I don't care. You know, if you're just still here, you're crushing. If you made it through 2023 and the first half of 2024, you're crushing.
How would you compare? Because I started in 2022, right when interest rates bottomed. So I got like, I didn't know anything. I wasn't in business with production at all. But that market was fucking nuts, and I remember it.
Yeah, man.
And
I remember that. I remember 2022 very vividly.
Dude, I just remember like I just had appointment after appointment after appointment, and it was just like people were just putting in offers, bidding, how prices were going skyrocketing. Everyone was buying shit.
Yeah, man.
People were buying a house because they wanted a pool in the backyard, and they didn't have a pool in their house. So like people were moving for any reason because money was so cheap to borrow. And it's not like they were losing a great debt product and taking on a more expensive debt product, which is the issue now, which I would consider, I think Joe calls it like an interest rate lockout. But I don't really know where I was trying to get with this whole thing.
Well, 2022, I mean, that's very dear to my heart. 2022 changed my life. Like the 2022 real estate market changed my life forever, man.
In what way?
It was rock bottom for me, dude.
Yeah.
I had been going through, you know, some personal things, right? I just lost my father. And it took a lot for me to get back in. You know, I had just left a team, a leadership position in a team. 2 weeks later, I lost my father. And all right, let me start the story over. I fucked that up. So I left my real estate team in 2021. And the middle, I was in a sales position and leadership role. And a few weeks later, my dad got sick. A few months later, he ended up passing away. That completely, between leaving my team and then that just completely took me out. And it took a lot of strength for me to get back into the business and get rolling. And I did that, and I saw some success with it, and I had gathered a lot of clients. And there was so much losing, though, involved in that. There was so many offers, so much time and energy spent on offers that didn't get accepted, and I put just everything into it, right? And then the ones you do get accepted, deals started falling apart. And it was just really tough for me to handle, man. And I basically quit, dude. I made a decision in, I think it was July 2022. It was just like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
And the thing I had been chasing for 10 years of my life, I just kind of said, I can't do it anymore. And I hit rock bottom with it, dude. And I knew that I would be back in the business, but I really needed to disconnect. So I don't think I talked about real estate for the first time in my 3-4 months. I wouldn't even speak to somebody about real estate.
Yeah.
I didn't speak to many people at all, but I didn't speak to many people about real estate. But what I found in that time away is that's what I really needed, was that time away. And I knew I needed to be back in a leadership role. I knew that my mission in life was to help other people and prevent them from getting that low in their careers. And what I had been missing was, it was about me with those deals, and it wasn't about everybody else. And my true calling is working with agents and being a leader to the agents on our team and being a role model to some extent to some people. That's my true passion in this business. And through that, I was able to find that, right? So with every bottom, you know, you're going to find some things about yourself, and those down times, man, are the greatest teachers, man. And yeah, that was rock bottom for me, but thank God that happened.
Yeah.
Thank God that happened. So 2022, man, that fucking shit took me out, dude.
No, didn't take you out completely.
Oh, it took temporarily, man, but I'm fucking back.
Yeah,
bro.
you're fucking back. Well, I think that's important. Is like it's the time of reflection where it's, you know, everything goes to shit. Mm-hmm. Everyone experiences that in some way, shape, or form. It's different for everyone, and it's, you know, everyone has their own personal, like, emotional attachment to whatever. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's like the things that happen in life, you know, totally change what's next. And then sometimes you just got to reflect, and you got to find, you know, what you want to do and why. Mm-hmm. And then once you find that big why, you get the energy and drive to do it.
Yeah, man.
That's how I see it. Because I had a fucking hard winter. Like I was completely in solitude this whole winter. I just worked and worked out. I was working out like, I was fuck. Well, that's like a coping mechanism.
All you're doing is working and working out, man. There's some shit going on behind that, right? There's some darkness behind all that. When you see a motherfucker grinding like that, you're just like, shit, that motherfucker's possessed.
Yeah. Little heartbroken, right?
Yeah.
That shit will make you go,
man.
And that's the thing. Through that entire experience, like, I knew, like, this hurts, this sucks, physically and mentally.
Yeah.
My brain was going off the walls. I was sleeping like, dude, I couldn't sleep. I was sleeping like 4 hours a night. I'd wake up and I'd fucking run. Like, that working out's been like a form of coping for me. So, like, that helped a lot. But now I'm here, and I've overcame that, and I've identified, you know, this whole thing I'm doing right now is kind of like identified kind of more what I want to do.
Okay.
And when I sat down with Joe, he was talking about the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really know who your story can impact.
Yeah.
So I kind of just started having fun with this, where it's like, you know, everyone has a story to tell. And it's like, you don't know who that story's going to impact. And the only way to impact people is to get the story out there.
Did you know it back then? Like, when you were going through your shit, did you know that this was going to make you stronger, and you knew you were going to have one fucking hell of a story to tell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it every day. I was like, this sucks. But it's reality, and there's no, you know, what's my plan B? Fucking drink the pain away? Like,
yeah,
I'm not doing that. So,
no, I commend you, and it's a hard thing, and
for me, it was like everyone, because I'm 21 and I'm young, so everyone left. You know, I live in a very small town. It's a summer town, so it's quiet. Mm-hmm. All of my neighbors are retired and in their 80s. Like, there's no, you know, I was totally disconnected from, I wouldn't say a complete social life, because I have my close friends at home, and, you know, they are doing OCC or they're doing their own work here. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like, I had my own path, and no one else was doing what I was doing, and you know, it was just that period of time where it's like, it's all you, it's all your head. Like, you just gotta figure it out, and that was the last 8 months, and the outcome of it is incredible. Yep. Like, through that pain, I've accomplished, like, an unimaginable amount.
Yeah, man. I think I tell it all the time, and I say it like that, right? Is those dark times, man, are the best teachers, man. I'm so grateful for all the bullshit that I've been through, man. I'm so grateful that it happened. I'm so proud of myself. It's created this version of me that I struggled with confidence for a long time, man. For whatever reason, man, I just didn't believe in myself, man. I just had trauma, dude, and I just didn't believe in myself. And, man, like, my dark times and being able to climb out of that, man, I fell so fucking deeply in love with myself and became my fucking hero, dude. And
that's the shit.
Man, like, I just never wanted to be the dude that, like, I just never, like, I don't want to be the person that, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person, right? I want to be like that fucking dude. That dude that did that shit, man. And that's a powerful place to be, man. And it took a lot, man, to get there. But it's fucking awesome, man. I became my own fucking hero, dude. And the reason I asked you, did you know? Like, I knew too, dude.
Oh, I didn't know what the exact outcome would look like. There's so much uncertainty in my life, and there still is, but that's because I'm young. But I knew it was, like, it was inevitable.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's the mindset. Like, my mom said this the other day. She's like, you're becoming so fucking egotistical. She didn't say fucking, but she was like, Ethan, why? Like, you're becoming so egotistical. I'm like, no, I just know. Like,
confident.
It's inevitable. It's just confidence. It's just another level of confidence.
Yeah.
And dude, I used to be the most introverted person.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, in high school, I didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, I'm pretty introverted. I'm very introverted.
But like, people see me now and I talk. But the reason why is because I did cold sales, and that taught me a lot. And in like extroversion and I think you have, if you like. I was born introverted. That's how I was. Mm-hmm. But I do think you can learn to be both and play both in this, in certain rooms and circumstances.
I think you're just kind of yourself, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Just you.
Kind of yourself.
You're just you, and it's cool to be like introverted and to yourself.
Like, I became extroverted through my experiences working in real estate, because you have to work with people. Mm-hmm. And I threw myself in this industry. No fucking, I didn't even know I'd be cold calling, dude.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even know.
What did you, like, I didn't know either, man. I thought I was going to flip houses when I first got into, when I said I was going to get into real estate to that vice principal back in the day. I thought I was going to be flipping houses. I thought I was going to be investing. I thought, I originally became a real estate agent to learn about real estate so I could take that and become an investor, right? So I took, like, I didn't know what the fuck I was getting myself into. I didn't know that I was signing myself, somebody that dealt with rejection and abandonment issues. I'm fucking signing up to get rejected for a living. Jeez, talk about strengthening that, right? Talk about taking your weaknesses and just diving into it, man. And it's just like,
give me more.
Man, like getting told no for my first couple of years was the most demoralizing feeling ever. Yeah. And then you just become so numb to it and understand that it's just part of the process and become so accepting. And so what that did is, like, that helped me take that to life. Do
you think that experience is what helped you build confidence over time?
Yeah, man, because it's you see yourself go through it, right? You see all the rejection that you took, all the whatever battles you had went through, and you see yourself come out of that, and that's what you look back at, right? And you say, God, you're a bad motherfucker, dude. Yeah, like you're fucked up in the head. You're like you didn't quit, and yeah, man, going through those experiences, specifically, yeah, man, business and rejection in real estate, man, that taught me so much about life, man. And it made me deal with life so much better, man. And then it's just inevitable, dude. Failure is inevitable, man. And I embrace the fuck out of that. I talk about it very often. My favorite line with it, like, I tell you guys all the time, man, it's just like, I'm going to teach you a little bit about winning. I'm going to teach you so much more about losing. Yeah.
Because that's I forget who it was, but it's like, 95% of it's losing, and then the 5% you win.
Yeah, man.
And you feel good. I mean, you feel good throughout the whole process. You don't feel good, but like you really only get the sense of like, holy shit, I feel great for 5% of the time.
Yeah, man. And it's worth it.
And it's worth it every time.
Yeah, it's worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah, man. So no, thank you for sharing that, dude. They all think you got it figured out, Ethan Hinds. Everybody thinks you got it all figured out, and it sounds like you don't.
No, Joe said that too, and he was like, "What's the secret, man?" It sounds like you got it all figured out. It's like, the secret is I don't. Yeah, nobody ever does though.
But
like everyone experiences pain at every level.
Yeah, yeah, man. Incoming rant.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Man. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay. And although we've made great strides as a society, we are failing massively still. 1 in 4 adults that deals with some type of mental health issue. 1 in 5 have had suicidal thoughts. 1 in 14 has inflicted harm on themselves. 1 in 15 has attempted suicide. Depression is the #1 cause of disability worldwide. So yeah, if you're watching this, if you're somebody that hit rock bottom and you found a way to climb yourself out of that and come back the best version of yourself, that takes so much strength and courage. And, you know, if you're somebody who ever raised your hand and said, I need help, and you had the strength to go get the help that you needed, that takes so much courage. And if you are a family member or a friend of somebody that is struggling and you're their support system, you are helping change their life. You are giving them hope. And I thank you for that. And if you're somebody that's in your darkness right now, like, I challenge you to find your...
Shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
If you're somebody that's right now that you're challenging, you're going through your darkness right now, I challenge you to find that little dot of light and go chase that shit so relentlessly, because on the other side of that is something beautiful for you. And you are going to come back with a passion and a purpose that these motherfuckers are going to think you are possessed, dude. And, you know, just keep every day, put one foot in front of the other, no matter how small or big that step is, no matter how short or long that time takes. You keep showing up, and one day you're going to be able to tell your story, and you're going to inspire somebody else, and you're going to show the world who the fuck you really are, you know? And
well said.
Don't quit on yourself. Yeah. That's the message. Don't quit on yourself.
Yeah, it's all about just getting up one more time.
Yeah.
It's the game of life is the game of one more. It's like, you know, shit happens to everyone. Yeah, man. You know, we're all going to experience loss. We're all going to experience these things. Some people are, you know, more fortunate than others in terms of how often they experience it, but it's like you just got to get up once more and just take one more step.
Every winner is a loser who just tried again.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, that's good. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, man. And
so you're a fucking big time loser, bro.
Yeah, man.
You fucking loser.
Proudly, right? Yeah. Wear that shit proudly, man. You have to. You have to, man. You have to lose in order to win.
Yeah, I don't got figured out. I'm a fucking huge loser. I lose a lot, dude. I got fucking choked out by like shit.
This dude at Jiu-Jitsu fucked you up?
Yeah, man. Nah, it doesn't hurt too much, but no, but something interesting about that is like you also don't know what people are capable of. It's like, you know, first impressions. Like there are people in that room. You'll see like a short skinny dude, like 5'10", or I don't want to say short. I'm 5 foot. He's like 5'4". He's like 140 pounds, and he could dislocate my shoulder, break my arm, and choke me out in a matter of 15 seconds. I'm like, but that's the thing. It's like you just don't know what anyone's capable of.
Quietest motherfucker too, right?
And then it's like, what do you think that? How many times do you think that guy fucking failed to learn that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But he kept showing up.
Yep. And that's all it is. I mean, well, the reason why he got there is because he showed up for 10 plus years and did it every day.
Yeah, man.
And that's all you got to do is just keep showing up.
Fully committed.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been awesome.
Dude, thank you.
All right. Good?
Yeah. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, but I think we're good.
That's fun, man.
Whew.